Did you know that Africa is home to the largest earthworks ever undertaken by human hands? Or that these earthworks produce the second largest wall ever made, consuming over 100 times more material than the Pyramid of Giza? Benin Empire was a West African state located in what is modern-day Nigeria and was established around 1000 CE by the Edo people, who originally called it Igo de Migado. The empire was ruled by the Oba, who were a powerful king or queen who held political, military and religious authority over the kingdom, and these Oba turned the empire into a major trading state with a strong economy based on agriculture, crafts and trade. A testament to this wealth and power were the monumental scale of the city's walls, which before the Industrial Revolution introduced machinery were the largest earthworks on Earth. This is an artist's depiction because obviously we didn't have drones or anything back then. This is what it would have looked like with the moat and the city walls and everything. It's amazing. The walls themselves were made of rammed earth. This is actually a picture of one that remains today, and rammed earth is essentially just very compressed earth which is mixed with a small portion of clay to hold it together. These are actually very strong and they do last a very long time. Now these walls extended for 16,000 kilometers or 9,941 miles in a series of more than 500 interconnected small settlement boundaries covering more than 6,500 square kilometers or 4,000 square miles. If you don't count overlapping and reconstructed sections of the Great Wall of China, the Benin walls are actually 4 times longer. Here's a view along the streets taken in 1897, and these streets were also lit up at night by large metal lamps fueled by palm oil in order to facilitate work and trade after dark, and they also had underground drainage for storm waters, and every single house in this city had its own fresh water well. This image also shows some, remaining walls over the modern day city of Benin, which is pretty cool. Mathematician Ron English described the city planning as perfect fractals laid out in mathematically predictable patterns, and said in his book, and I quote, "When Europeans first came to Africa, they considered the architecture very disorganized and thus primitive. It never occurred to them that the Africans might have been using a form of mathematics that they hadn't even discovered yet." But as I'm sure you've been gathering as I flash these pictures behind me, the Benin Empire was also famous for its incredible ivory and brass sculptures that were highly sought after by pretty much anyone who laid eyes on them. This ivory giraffe piece is one of my personal favorites. I really love this. And I think this brass sculpture really shows the ability of these craftsmen. Like, look at this wiring and how intricate all this is. It's very incredible. As well as this ivory mask depicting Queen Idia, which is incredible. When the first Europeans arrived in Benin City around 1500 CE, they described it as an incredible place, largely free of crime and hunger, filled with friendly, courteous people who didn't even have doors on their homes. But unfortunately, this also marked the beginning of the end for the Benin Empire. 1897, as with many things, the absolute unit, that is the British Empire, showed up and destroyed the entire city in retaliation for the death of 20 unauthorized British traders, and further justified the attack by fabricating accounts of human sacrifice in the city. The destruction of the city did not mark the end for the Edo, who continue to thrive in modern-day Nigeria, and the 40th Oba of the Benin Kingdom was actually crowned in 2016. Hit follow for more.